Hello there, you're now with me, Shol Shaminato, for TVS News at 5. Let's begin with the headlines. Every resident office in Sarawak is urged to propose potential tourism products in their respective divisions to be elevated as an annual tourism event in the state. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said the office plays a crucial role to boost the tourism sector in the state. Karim said, following the state government's decision to reopen the state borders, there will be an increase in international flights to the state. As such, he hoped that with the reopening of borders, it will give a positive impact to not only the tourism industry, but also on the state's economy as a whole. Adding to that, Karim said the Divisional Tourism Task Group, DTTG, and the resident offices had been advised to take the initiative to plan and distribute related information and details to be refined by his ministry.
Dan di sinilah harapan kita adalah untuk pejabat residen dapat mengangkat, memaklumkan kepada kita dan apabila kita ketahui dan melihat bahawa produk itu boleh kita aturkan, kita akan aturkan fasilitinya, jalan raya pergi ke tempat itu, bilik air untuk pengunjung dan sebagainya dan dari situ baru produk itu boleh meningkat naik. Di Sarawak memang banyak sekali. Baiknya waterfall, baiknya gua-gua, baiknya tempat extreme sport ataupun tempat untuk mendaki bukit, kerana itu adalah antara sukan-sukan ataupun riadah yang amat diminati oleh pengunjung-pengunjung pada hari ini. Jadi
he said so when met by reporters at the Entrepreneur Preparation and Financing Program on Saturday. In addition, he said that the ministry, through relevant agencies, will continue to be committed to carrying out tasks and efforts to promote tourism, arts and cultural products in the state of Sarawak. Hard work and sacrifices made by artists nationwide must be appreciated and their art to be protected at all costs. Thus, to commemorate and show appreciation for our local artists, Jabatan Penerangan or Japan Malaysia Sarawak took a strategic approach by organizing the Sembang Warung program in conjunction with the 2022 National Artist Day, which falls on March 22. As such, we have our reporter Haris Zainuddin on the ground to give us a more detailed insight.
Thank you, studio. I am currently at Dulang Kampung restaurant in Desa Ilmu Kota Semarahan to attend Japan's Sembang Warung program in conjunction with the National Artist Day. Attending the event is our Works Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof and Kota Semarahan Parliament Member Datuk Rubiah Wang. The program was organized by Japan Sarawak in collaboration with multiple agencies under the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, such as RTM, FINAS, Bernama, MCMC, TM, and Post Malaysia, aimed to establish a good relationship with local artists throughout the state, as well as to show appreciation and to acknowledge them for their hard work in the creative industry. The program is also aimed to remind fellow artists and the Keluarga Malaysia community who are eligible to register as a community ambassador and to pass on information on any initiative given by the government for fellow artists. For information, Sembang Warung Japan is a platform used by Japan to convey information and any government's initiative to the people, which is in line with the Keluarga Malaysia philosophy where no people is left behind. Now, the National Artist Day this year has been changed from 29 May to 22nd March. The change was made so that the National Artist Day falls on our national pride's birthday, the late Allahyarham Tan Sri P. Ramlee. Right, that is all from me now, studio. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Haris, on that details earlier. Now moving on to the next highlight. Sarawak carries a significance in ensuring food security in the country. As such, the Agriculture and Food Industries Ministry, through the Federal Agricultural Marketing Authority, will upgrade 15 business areas in Sarawak. Its Minister, Dr. Ronald Kiandi, said the upgrading works involved an allocation of 7 million ringgit under the 12th Malaysia Plan, adding that the effort was hoped to provide comfort to traders and visitors.
Berada di ladang sawah padi di Seri Aman, Petang Lupa, dan melihat banyak lagi yang perlu dilakukan. MAFI akan terus mencuba untuk mendapatkan dana bagi pembangunan infrastruktur yang diperlukan untuk industri padi beras di negeri Sarawak. Jadi usaha ini akan merupakan satu usaha yang berterusan dan kerjasama antara kerajaan persekutuan, jabatan dan agensi persekutuan bersama dengan kerajaan negeri dan jabatan negeri.
He told this to reporters after conducting a working visit to Medan Niaga Sato here today. Pharma will continue to help improve business facilities and structures throughout the country, including in Sarawak. Besides playing its role as a marketing agency, Pharma will also strive to create a comfortable business environment for all quarters.
Saya dimaklumkan bahawa some 7 million peruntukan dalam rancangan Malaysia ke-12 untuk menaik taraf 15 Dewan Niaga di seluruh negeri Sarawak ini sepanjang RMK 12. Jadi PAMA akan terus menyumbang untuk menambah baik struktur perniagaan di seluruh negara termasuklah di Sarawak ini, dan usaha ini akan diteruskan. Dan PAMA akan terus memainkan peranan sebagai agensi pemasaran yang bukan saja membantu peniaga, pengusaha, tetapi untuk mewujudkan satu suasana perniagaan yang selesa bagi semua pihak.
Medan Niaga Sato is a joint venture project between Pharma and the Sarawak State Government to create a market with a modern, clean and systematic concept equipped with the latest waste management system. The 46.6 million ringgit commercial area, which provides 995 business lots, commenced operations on January 1st. At the same time, a special committee will be formed to manage dependencies on imports and at the same time strengthen the country's food security. Minister of Agriculture, Modernisation and Regional Development, Dr. Stephen Rundi Utam, said the formation of the special committee will be done with joint efforts with the federal government. As such, he said that discussions on collaborations have been made through discussions with Minister of Agriculture and Food Industry, Dr. Ronald Kiandi.
We need to have more frequent meeting and also engagement between us. As we have discussed earlier, we want to create our own so-called like a task force, more or less, so that we are able to iron out something that we need.
Rundi also added that through the 12th Malaysia Plan, his ministry has received a total allocation of 617.9 million ringgit from the state and federal government to develop projects for the people. Out of the total, 52.5% was allocated by the federal government to further strengthen Sarawak's agricultural sector. In line with this, Sarawak is making efforts to increase domestic export to support the country's food security mission. On to the next update. The body of a mechanic who fell into the Batang Rajang River last Thursday has been found on Saturday morning. The deceased, identified as Lim Wee Sin, 49, was found floating at 9:20 a.m. about 3 meters from where he was believed to have fallen. Acting Chief of Cebu District Police Superintendent Dr. Colin Babat said the search and rescue operation was carried out since day one of the incident, which is a collaborative effort by the Search and Rescue Team, Fire and Rescue Department, Royal Malaysian Police and the Marine Operations Force. Following the discovery of the body, the search and rescue operation ended at 9:30 a.m. In the incident at Jalan Upper Lanang on Thursday, Wee Sin was attempting to jump onto the ship where he worked when he fell. The victim's friend said they had seen the victim surfacing for a while before disappearing underwater. Boba launched a search operation on the surface of the ship on Thursday, and scuba divers were called to aid in the search on Friday. Meanwhile, the case has been classified as sudden death. On the other hand, the Yang Dipertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and Raja Pemaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria are undergoing self-quarantine at the Istana Negara after being confirmed positive for COVID-19. Comptroller of the Royal Household for Istana Negara, Dr. Ahmad Fadil Shamsuddin, in a statement said, Al-Sultan Abdullah is undergoing quarantine until Thursday, April 7, while Tunku Aziza until Friday, April 8. Ahmad Fadil said their Majesties consented to undergo self-quarantine in line with the protocols and standard operating procedures stipulated by the Health Ministry for COVID-19 cases with no or mild symptoms. Ahmad Fadil said that in conjunction with Ramadan, Al-Sultan Abdullah called on his subjects to always be vigilant and to practice self-discipline, even though the country entered the transition to the endemic phase yesterday. He also urged the people to pray for Their Majesty's speedy recovery and long-lasting health. Malaysians can now return to almost normal lives after the country entered the transition to the endemic phase yesterday, which also saw more restrictions eased. The independence enjoyed today came after the people were forced to limit their activities due to the implementation of the Movement Control Order MCO, which came into force on March 18, 2020. Of the people in complying with the standard operating procedures SOP set by the government and the national COVID-19 immunization program's success have enabled the country's transition to the endemic phase. The success was also achieved through the leadership of Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, who managed to help Malaysia deal with the surge in COVID-19 cases and solve the political crisis plaguing the country. Although Ismail Sabri is not the UMNO president, he managed to gain the trust of 114 members of parliament to be appointed as the 9th Prime Minister, with the hope that he would put an end to the country's political polemic, as well as steer the nation out of the COVID-19 pandemic and revive its economy. Apart from his success in uniting the people through the Keluarga Malaysia or Malaysian family concept, Ismail Sabri also invited the leadership of opposition parties to join in the country's recovery efforts. The Prime Minister had also come up with a Memorandum of Understanding MOU on transformation and political stability to ensure the smooth running of the country's administration and the people's welfare remain protected. After 7 months of leading the nation, Ismail Sabri's leadership was evident when the country achieved political stability and its economy recorded a positive growth. With the successful implementation of PICK, as well as the political stability achieved, Ismail Sabri announced that the country will go through an exit strategy and a temporary phase before fully entering the endemic phase, subject to the announcement by the World Health Organization, WHO. And that concludes TVS News at 5. For more updates, don't forget to tune in to our 11:30 Nightline tonight with Handy Gray. Here with me, Charlotte Mato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good evening.